Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft PowerPoint. In this module, I want to show you how you can add animations to a slide and then how you can customize those animations for better effects. So on the screen, I've got a slide that at the moment has no animations at all. Now, as a rule, you do not animate the titles. You can, but most people don't, which means that when this slide appears, the title will be there. If you animate the title, it will not appear until you click your mouse and then it will appear. So that's why people don't necessarily animate the title. What I'm going to do is select the text block, this block here, so this is everything. I'm going to animate this. Now on the animations tab, you've got these animations. Green, that represents an entry animation, and then you've got, if I drop the arrow down, some yellow ones, slightly different colors. These are emphasis, when an item's got emphasis, and then the red ones are exits. And then at the bottom there you've got motion paths, and then at the very bottom you've got more of each of those, more of each of these. Now when you click on these, you'll get a little mini preview, and then you can see straight away you've got some animation going on there. And I've got the animation pane active by clicking this button, which gives you a sort of list of the animations that you've just set. So if I click on this and delete that, it's a quick way of getting rid of that, and then click back into this box to look at a different one. So let's go to wheel. So you see how it does that, it just wheels in. So these are all just like little previews of that. You've got the option up there to speed up or slow down the duration of the animation, and you can also delay it. But for now I'm just going to delete that. Now if I go to more effects, entrance effects, and pick the one I always use, which is dissolve in, okay, you can see it over here, and if I click on these two down arrows, two chevrons, you can see each individual one. So with this group collapsed, whatever you do applies to all of it. If you have it expanded, you can then click on individual ones and activate something on that particular one, like so. That's just going to be on that one. Most often than not, you want them all to do the same sort of thing. You don't want the animations to be a distraction to your presentation. You want it to be an aid to your presentation. Now, if I go and put a pulse effect on, watch what happens now. So I put the pulse on, and because I'm using this area here, it's overwritten the entrance animation, which is slightly irritating because I want it to do entrance and then pulse. Now I'm going to delete that from there. Now for that to happen, for you to have layered animations, you really do not need to be using these effects at all. These are just like one-offs. If you want a quick animation, you can just click these on. What I suggest you use is this add animation button here, where it allows you to do layered animation. It's the same set as you see here, but this will not be overwritten by a subsequent effect. If I go down and get that same one again, that dissolve in, okay, and then I go through there and do the pulse, you'll get the pulse coming on at the bottom there, and you can see that I've still got the top one there, dissolve in, and then the pulse. So they're not overwriting each other. You can have multiple animations. And if I click this one, keep it clicked and go and select an exit, dissolve out, for example, dissolve out, okay, again I get another set, and these are all on mouse click, but I can, if I want, get them to come in together. I can get them coming afterwards with a delay. I can change the duration of the effect, increase it or decrease it from these arrows here, and then I can move these as groups or as individuals. If you've got one there, you can just move that up like that, or move it down, or you can move the whole collapsed series up or down. So I can click on that and then put it at the bottom, which wouldn't make much point because it had disappeared on the exit. So I'm now going to delete all three of these just for now and just add one more. So if I go in here and do entrance again, entrance, dissolve in, okay. If I click on place selected, you can see that it's coming in pairs. So it's doing what's called level 1 animation. I want that to come in separately, so I want Wellington to come in and then on the mouse click guards. So to do that, you've got some options up here, effect options, but the one I want is not listed there, so I usually recommend to people that you go through this little down arrow and effect options there, because it gives you more features. And you've got sound. Don't make the mistake of putting sound on bullets, it'll just drive the audience mad. This bit here, after animation don't dim, that's what I am going to select, a colour blue. So when it loses focus, it will go blue. Everything else is okay there. But the main thing here is text animation. That's what it's set to at the moment. I've got two levels, 1, 2. So I could put this to second, but what I recommend is that most people put it to 5, just in case at a later date you come in and add extra indents here. This will automatically pick it up. And if I click OK to that, you can see the preview now. So once it loses focus, it goes light blue and it's coming in one line at a time. So when you put that into full screen, it is on click, so when you click your mouse it would come in and then it would do the animation. So we've looked at entrance effect, we've looked at emphasis and exits, that's the red ones. What we haven't looked at is the motion paths. So I'm just going to insert a picture. So if I go pictures, this device, and I'll just pick this dragoon, just make him a little bit smaller, and then what I'm going to do with him is go back to animations, add animation, get him to dissolve in, okay. Now I'm going to get him to move across the screen. Now that is a custom path I'm going to use, a motion path. If I go through there, these motion paths down the bottom, if I scroll down, you've got a custom path, or you can get it to follow these. And if you go into more motion paths, there's loads of them, lots of different paths that this picture would follow if you selected any of these. Cancel that. I'm just going to pick the custom one. So I'm coming down the bottom here, custom path, and then wherever I scribble with this mouse now, this man is going to follow it. And when I've finished, if I double click, it will let me complete the action. So if I now click on the picture, play, so it dissolves in and it scribbles across the screen. And then you can see the actual scribble line there, and the little green arrow at one end and a red arrow at the other end, which you can pick up and move if you so wish. So that's how you can use the motion path. Now I'm going to delete those two off. And then what I want to do now is select Wellington. It's already coming in, but I want it to pulse and grow and shrink. So at the moment all of these are selected, so if I just leave them just Wellington selected, just double click on Wellington, I want to go to add animation, pulse, so it should pulse, and then add animation, grow and shrink, so that's doing it to them all at the moment, which I don't really want it to do. So let's see if I can get this to go for Wellington only, and then see what happens now. If I play from Wellington, post, and then it grew, it's still doing it for them all. So I don't want that to happen, so let's have a look at why that's doing that. I'm going for, it's on click, duration, knock that down a bit, and I'll do it with previous. So it's going to come in with that. Let's see what happens now. Play. It's still doing it. Everything is still going together. So what I'm going to do is delete that off. Just check this works from that one. So that's it pulsed, just Wellington pulsed. So now if I double click on Wellington, I mustn't have had it all selected actually. Let's just try this. If I grow and shrink, only want Wellington to grow and shrink. Yeah, now I've got it right. So I didn't have it selected. That's probably what it was. So let's see what happens now if I play from the beginning. Wellington, then grows. Everything else should just be normal. Excellent. That's what I want. And that's what you have to do, is you get the order and the effects, how you want them to be in this animation pane. Without the animation pane, you're really struggling to sort of do any sort of animation in any order unless you're writing it down on a piece of paper. So it's quite crucial. Older versions of PowerPoint used to have this doctor all the time. I don't know why it's been taken off. It just seems a backward step to me, as there are a few backward steps in this version of PowerPoint. But that's all I want to talk about in this little video. How to do animation, basic animation. Obviously you can get a lot more detailed when you start messing about with on click with previous and in effect options. You've got timings, delays, you can repeat, and we've already looked at this text animation and the effects as well with sound. Don't recommend putting sound on the bullets, I've already said that. But that's it for now. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.